The New York Islanders fall to the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1 in an afternoon game. And out here on the West Coast, it's a morning game. And I hate morning games. But such is life living on the West Coast, having your favorite team on the East Coast. I guess I just have to live with it. Sucks, but that's the way it is. Well, we pretty much saw our season it's kind of falling away on us here, kind of watching it go into the abyss. I rarely ever wear this jersey. Rarely ever. I think I have once before on a podcast here. It's when I'm not feeling good about the Islanders that this jersey might come out because it reminds me of bad teams, bad times, not a good team, and that's kind of the way I feel about this team right now. I'm gonna say right here and now, I really thought the Islanders. I saw the effort. I did. I saw the effort from them tonight. They were giving everything they had, and if that's the case, if they're giving everything they have and they lose, then it basically has to start to come down to that they're just not a very good hockey team, or at least they're not running on all the cylinders that they should be. But bottom line is it probably comes down to that we're just not a very good hockey team because we are now flirting with the conference basement with the Rangers of all teams. Let's see. Let's who would ever thought that would happen this year? Certainly not me. So it was actually for a day game. I thought it was actually kind of entertaining as far as day games go. I mean, not a lot of top-notch scoring chances. There were some good saves made, but nothing really outstanding. No real huge extended zone times. The one time we did have extended zone time, we actually scored on. So that was pretty much the only time that I can really recall us having that big of pressure on at any given time in the game, other than maybe the power play time that we had on, and we're just passing the puck around, doing nothing anyway. So uh, this was about the fifth or sixth crack we had at being 0 and or 2 games below 500, and each and every time we answered the call with either a win or an overtime loser point, and we never fell 3 games below 500. But we finally accomplished that today with today's loss. So it's not looking good. We had everything in our favor today. Matthews was down. Oliver Ekman Larson was down for them. Their best goaltender, Stolars, wasn't playing. Everything was in our favor, and we still couldn't do it. And that was with what I saw the guys giving max effort. I will say this, just a small bit in their defense. It was hard to get a lot of anything going tonight for either team because the ice was horrible, and it was like watching a tennis ball out there on the ice for the entire game. So uh defense for both teams, why I don't think we had those real extended times in the ozone, because the puck was bouncing around. It was eventually going to go out because you couldn't hold the puck onto the puck because it was bouncing so bad. So anyway, I guess let's get into the game. And of course, just to put us into a bad mood right off the bat, let's do it really early into the game. And David Camp from Nylander and Tanev makes it 1-0. Uh, Kind of late in the period again, 18-minute mark roughly, 6 minutes short of the 18-minute mark. Kind of disappointing because I thought we actually had a pretty good road period for what we had going on, and Toronto kind of lulled us into a sleep, and they just out of nowhere came and scored that goal. I just gotta say we had some serious defensive lapses on the first two goals. Like it was just horrible. So then we go through, which is starting to drive me nuts now. The Islanders have a goal, the Leafs have a goal, they both get a goal called back. It sucks that it's getting to the point now when I watch a hockey game and I'm cheering for my team. Back in the old days when I used to watch the Islanders and cheered when we scored a goal, I just went, woo, I went nuts knowing it was a goal. Now I don't even really, we score and I don't really celebrate 100% because I'm not sure. Okay, let's look around. Are they going to well, was there an offside? Was there goalie interference? And it's really taking a lot of the joy out of the game. I've seen so many goals called back in all the games in the NHL this year. It's just like an epidemic now of that just seems to be all that's ever happening is goals getting called back. Kind of sucks. So anyway, Pajot does score a beautiful goal. It's absolutely beautiful goal. Beautiful pass by Noah Dobson and Barzell setting it up. That was a beauty, thing of beauty to watch. And like I had said, we'd had some sustained ozone time, so it was nice to see us finally rewarded at the end and rewarded with the beauty, which was really nice to see. However, in typical Islander fashion, we just can't let alone. You know what I mean? We let the fourth line score 16 minutes or 16 seconds after we tie the game. It takes us a period and a half to tie this game up. And in 16 seconds, we let the fourth line from Toronto get a goal. Scott Mayfield, like that was brutal. That was brutal. That was hard to watch. That was really hard to watch. That was horrible. Scotty had a horrible game tonight. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So Lawrence makes it 2-1 from all people Reeves. Like, give me a break and Dewar. So it's 2-1 and it's not looking promising, but the Islanders are having a good period. And like I said, I can see the effort from the Islanders. They're they're doing what they can do, and it's just not quite enough. We get our chances in this game. Brock Nelson with the breakaway on a shorty there that we can't convert. We have Barzell hitting the crossbar, and we just can't convert. And then of course we let Tavares score an empty netter so that he can be all happy tonight from Nylander or Marner. And we lose 3-1. So just like that, the Islanders are now 3 games under 500, just like that. All right, let's go talk about the players. Uh, I thought Siplikov had an okay game tonight. I thought that line, Siplikov, Paul Merriam, and Nelson was our best line tonight, but they were our best line, but not good enough. Like not I've seen them have way better games than they've had tonight. It was an okay game, and when they're having an okay game and they're kind of like your best line on the ice, it doesn't help. I saw too many things out there tonight that I'll probably touch on as I get to the player and I'll bring up what I seen happening. And it's got a lot to do with our line combinations. It's just horrible. And actually, I'll talk about it when I talk about the next player here, Duclair. I didn't think Duclair had a very good game tonight. He had 2 penalties, 4 minutes and penalties, so that wasn't good. One shot on net, one block shot. But we're wasting Duclair. Like I seen Duclair make a beautiful play tonight. A beautiful play, gets it out to Cizikas. Cizikas alone in front, right in the middle of the net, 6 feet out, and he just puts a fluffy into the pads of the goaltender. You can't, you can't I get what Patrick's trying to do. He's trying to spread his wealth out, but it doesn't matter if you spread your wealth out. If your good players are playing with bad players, it's not going to really help the good players at all to help get them any points. Now, if that's Duclair giving that puck to Barzell or Horvat, that puck might have been in the net. And it's just so sad to see that these lines, and the same thing is going on with Barzell and Horvat. They're having the same thing with Pajot, and Pajot's doing an admirable job, but I think Duclair could do better. And so why waste Duclair on a third line? And this is weird because Duclair didn't have a good game tonight, But everybody has a bad game, and he's coming back from an injury. But you've got to start putting the good players together. You got to start loading up now. It's now or never. I honestly think I'm just being over optimistic, thinking that we can somehow put together a run here. But if we're gonna do it, you can't spread out your best players. We've got two good lines. We need to load them up and go to her. And we'll play basically three lines most games. You play that fourth line bare minimum, 6 to 7 minutes a night. You give the third line maybe 10 to 12 minutes and you ride those two lines. If we're going to get back into this, that's the formula for it right there. It's time to just stop putting good players with bad players. It's not helping. Barzell picked up a nice assist tonight. There, he had his moments. He had his moments in the game, but he wasn't clicking because Casey on that line a lot of the time, and it just or not Casey. I mean, with Pajot on that line. I mean, it's no fault against Pajot. Pajot's doing his job. He's doing what he can, but he's not the same kind of dynamic player that those three guys, Horvat, Barzell, and Duclair, can be. And by putting Pajot back into the third line again is a good thing for the Islanders. It's a good thing for the Islanders. So I thought Barzy had an okay game. I think he's still waiting to hit his stride since coming back from injury. Horvat, same thing could be said. They were a close second behind the Nelson line tonight. There wasn't much difference between the Nelson line and the Horvat line. I didn't think, but neither was good enough for either line, even though I thought the Nelson line held him in just a little bit longer. I didn't think Engvall hurt us at all tonight. He got 8 minutes of ice time, and in 8 minutes of ice time, I only noticed a couple of things he did well, and I didn't really notice anything he did really too bad. So for Engvall stepping in, he did what he had to do tonight. Fashing, same thing could be said for Fashing. He only got 8 minutes and 20 seconds of ice time as well. Did their job. They put zeros across the board, so the fourth line did their thing. Fashing, uh, I thought I thought his forechecking was fantastic at certain points. He's really good. Him and Holmstrom, they have similar styles in their forechecking, and sometimes I get them a little mixed up. But yeah, good job by Fashing with his forechecking tonight. I thought Paul Mary looked better because the line was back together again, and they weren't as good as they can be, but. I mean, everybody was trying tonight. Everybody was trying. We just lost. It's just that simple. And it's disappointing to lose to such a depleted team like the Leafs were tonight. We just didn't take advantage of it all. Anders, I thought had an okay game. He was a +1 tonight, 15 minutes of ice time, doing his Anders things, working the board work, but there was no sustained pressure from any of our lines tonight. So you can't really say that, he had a great game tonight. Like everybody was okay tonight. Brock was -2 tonight. That's a little disappointing for me. And Brock really needs to pick it up. We really could have used him scoring on that shorthanded breakaway, and he didn't come through for us. I think I guess we just have to ride it out with Brock and see how it goes. But with the way this team is going right now, this is the first guy that I would think will not be here in 2 months' time. It's very possible that the Islanders may be headed in that direction. We'll see how it goes. I still think we're a better team than fighting for lottery, but this team just is not proving me right at all, and they're making me look rather stupid. So at some point, you got to give in. I thought Kyle McLaren had a good game with Fashing, and the fourth line did their thing, and they did it with 8 minutes of ice time. Actually, McLean got less ice time than Fashing and Engvall. So yeah, That's interesting, especially with McLean doing penalty killing. But I didn't notice if maybe he wasn't on any penalty killing tonight. I did not see. Pager, way to go, Pager. You know, he scored a goal. Like I said, I'm not blaming Pager for what Pager is doing on that top line. I just don't think that that's where he should be right now. He should be on that third line chipping in, scoring a goal on the third line, and Duclair and Horvat and Barzell should be putting up like a minimum 2 goals a game kind of deal thing. That's what we need to get going to get into a winning streak if we're even going to think about doing that. Casey, I don't get it. I don't get how he can be the least played player on the team for a month and time on ice, and then all of a sudden, when kind of injury happens, he gets promoted up. It makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I try somebody else. Casey is only a fourth liner now. That's all he is, and we try to make more out of him, and it's just not there. And it just baffles my mind how he's always the first thought. Oh, we'll throw Casey up to the first line, or we'll throw Casey up to the second line, or something like that. And I'm like, whoa, man, what are you guys thinking? I was so happy to see Adam Pellick's game tonight. He looked fantastic after looking so bad in the last 2 games and actually looking bad ever since he's returned from his injury. It was so nice to see him have such a solid game tonight. He was one Islander who had a very, very good game tonight, as well as Ryan Pollock did. They were working very well as a tandem tonight. Pulley got himself 22 minutes of ice time. Pellick got himself 20, probably because of his penalty that he took, that he gets a little bit less. But he was very offensive minded tonight, but the defense was fantastic. His gap control was amazing. Yeah, so it was super nice to see him bounce back. It was a shame the two of them bounced back in a game like this that we lost. Noah Dobson, I thought also had a good game because I didn't notice him really doing anything wrong on the defensive side of the puck, and I thought he was engaged in the offense. Made a beautiful pass on our goal. Can't ask for anything more than that. 22 minutes of ice time. Still had 5 shots on net and blocked 3 shots. So that's pretty good night for Noah. Now, Scotty Mayfield, no, 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 bad, bad night. I saw him make one giveaway tonight that was so outrageous that I'm like, you looked right at him, Scott, yet you still shoveled the puck at the defender, thinking the puck was miraculously somehow going to go through him. And there was just no way. And then Toronto breaks up the other way, and I'm going, oh my God. And then the second goal, that was just horrible. Not a good night for Scotty Mayfield tonight, a -1, usually a plus, but not a good night. He earned that -1 for sure. Alexander Romanov, I don't know what he was doing on that goal when Nelson and Dobson were behind the net. And there's Romanov. He's just standing there on the right hand side of the net. The leaf is coming down the middle from the left hand side, and he's wide open. And Romanov's just staring at Dobson and Nelson, just watching them battle this guy and not even looking around to see if anybody's coming. And of course, he's on the wrong side of the net. If you had to saw the guy coming, head on a swivel kind of deal, 2-on-1, let them take care of that. You take care of what's going on out front. Like it's just outrageous to see some of these kind of mistakes being made. I thought Isaiah George is um, he fumbles the puck a lot, which gets him into a trouble sometimes. He's a good skater and his passing's pretty good, but he does have a tendency of kind of getting cornered every once in a while. So that's a tendency he's going to have to break. He did get 3 shots on net tonight, so it's nice seeing the offensive side from Isaiah coming out. But our two real duds tonight were Mayfield and Romanov on the defensive core. They really hurt us. Nothing Ilya could do about tonight. Another game with no support for Ilya. Big surprise there. Big surprise there. So anyway, that's what we have. It's dark times for the Islanders going into yeah, going into the next game. I mean, we play Toronto again at home. We got a long homestand. We'll see what happens, but it's looking bleak. And if this continues much longer, we just might see some of our favorites being traded out of the island, off the island, and that's going to be sad. And but you know what? You got to do what you got to do. It's all a business. Anyway, I hope everybody has a happy New Year's Eve tonight. Those party days on New Year's Eve are over for me, and I'm going to be settling down into watching USA play Team Canada at the World Juniors on New Year's Eve. That'll be my excitement for the night. So I hope all you guys and girls out there, y'all take care and peace out.